all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live, I don't know what the mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. You still at your mama crib and getting money, you gotta ask for it. I'm tired of complaining, I gotta bitch change my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day they take, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it, ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Here we go. The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
So first and 10 now from the 30. Now a man who really came on late last year, it's Damian Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. Well, with Damian Williams, it's notable that the Chiefs didn't make a play to go after a big-time running back in the offseason. The coaching staff said back in May they didn't want running back by committee. They trusted Williams to be their starter. You remember last year he was forced into the starting role the final 3 games of the season due to attrition, and he really excelled. And then he was excellent in the playoffs against the Colts and Patriots. Strong indicator that he was ready to be the bell cow. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Flushed out right. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Little glimpse of his athleticism there and what they're going to have to deal with. He can use his legs to dance around back behind the line of scrimmage and beyond the line of scrimmage.
And wouldn't you love to get a copy of their defensive scouting report going into the week? Because that's been stressed the whole time. Keep him bottled up. Keep him in the pocket. But it's the first drive of the game and emotions are running high. Someone forgot that, tried to make a big play, and gave up a bigger one instead.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is third down. Mahomes going to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Mahomes can sling it, but the feet are nimble too as he scrambles for a first down.
It's a gain of 8. That's another Kansas City Chiefs first down. First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no else. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. Feel like Ginger from Casino. Aces up my sleeve though. Right before I leave, I said like I'm Eno. Think I'm part Italian. Blame that on Gino. Snowflake the medallion. The skin on cappuccino. I don't kiss and tell. Keep your distance from myself. Fettuccine with the snails in a 5-star hotel. And I wish he's well when they wish for me to fail. I might donate petty bills. They can't get it by themselves.
That's why you treat my men good, but not the
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no else. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Been a fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. I'ma get it either way. I don't even gotta say what I want when I want. They just put it on my plate. I could get it right away. Take you through my day to day. Wake and pray, make that play. Get some good at my place. There's some on the way. Cause my bros on the way. I got stones on my gold. I got loads in my safe. Had a 7-figure summer, so I'm putting on some weight. Set up getting thick, so I put it on display.
With this rhymes, I make a joke. Everybody laughs. I know I'm funny, but I'm not that funny.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no else. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Been a fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself, yeah.
I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no bill. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo reel. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, how about it? How about it? You want it, you have it, you got it. Go snatch it, start the lot. Go ahead, jump it, how about it? How about it? Rep for your bro, for your post, your poppin', your projects. Pain driven, itching, drumming. Look how far we coming. Heartbeat on the streets, you can do it. Ain't built for the weekend, sweet. This sugar, one man army, but get deep. Watch what you doing. I ain't damaged goods, damn it out the clay. You wish you could. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no bill. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo reel. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, so suspenseful, I'm up in the field. Saw it in my eyes, it was the Tiger Hill. Gon' jump off the line and see the flight of field. Rewrite your history off this line right here. Your best bet be ahead, easy to get rich or dead trying. This ain't never new, I just be 10 steps instead. Snooze I won't, I can't lose, ready, rest or a bed. Do what you can to do, make it next move your best. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no bill. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo reel.
It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football, and certainly the loudest, as we welcome you inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. The scene just a few moments ago, predictably loud and raucous here at Arrowhead as their beloved Chiefs took field, and they are set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is taken at his 4. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Trying to fight his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. Kelsey, the intended receiver there. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
56. Mike's 56. And we got to get to the ball, D. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. 56 to Mike, boys. 56.
From the 24, Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Listen to me. 56, Mike, 56.
On 3rd down, Cousins eluding the pressure right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
I don't listen. In your face.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And to the 36-yard line. Taken down there after getting 8 yards. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. On 1st down, Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Mahomes. Flush to his right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. 20. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
On the tackle, it's Trey Waynes.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
From the 39, Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Kelsey, such a valuable part of this offense. Made the Pro Bowl the last 4 seasons. 2018 being the most productive when he went over 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, and a great relationship between he and Pat Mahomes off the field. Very good friends. Attended a bunch of high-profile sporting events together in the offseason. And that chemistry, it certainly shows on the field. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Danielle Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And keep your eye on that man. 4 sacks last week, 1 there here in the second quarter. He can be so disruptive.
So what was he doing in the first quarter? What was going on?
Took a nap.
I think he tried to lull him to sleep a little bit. Like, yeah, okay, maybe you got me this week. No longer. And you know, with the 4 sacks last week, it's obvious he gets his in flurries.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are. Now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
Let's go, D.
Third and long for Cousins. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Chris Jones, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's one of 2 Colquitts punting at our game here. This is Britton who gets the first shot. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Here's Hill on the return. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, that's 2 sacks in this game, so add that to the 4 from last week. I think that's 6.
Good math. Excellent math. And look, he's going to get all the attention he deserves. He got home and got the quarterback on the ground. But that's a concentrated team effort because you have a lot of guys who occupy.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Following the interception, Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. A gain of 3, second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
He's going to take off with it. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now Williams. And an alley to run. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Damian Williams, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played.
At their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Cousins. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. From the gun, here's Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Final play of the half, Cousins. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off enough with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters, as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Darren Lee picks it, and they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about...
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Yellow! There's a line! Yellow!
They give to Williams, running right. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now Mahomes. And that will be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Butker, what a pickup he's been for Kansas City the last 2 years. Remember, he was drafted by Carolina to be the eventual successor to Graham Gano. That didn't pan out. Casey got him as a free agent. He's been really good.
Yeah, Gano said, oh no, I'm keeping my job. But Butker found his home in Kansas City, a franchise record for points scored in his first 2 seasons.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. Darren Lee there to get him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. He completes it to Nelson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down.
The Vikings' 1st down.
Hey, Delta!
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Cousins on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
On 2nd down, Cook. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Throwing is Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Darren Lee picks it. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Watch the whip.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. To throw, it's Mahomes. It's Hill, complete. First down for the Chiefs, solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. First carry now for the backup, LaShawn McCoy. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6 at the 19-yard line.
Again, it's Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And that is incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Man, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. We're back now in KC. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games, but only led the Vikes to just 1 4th quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off right around the 43. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Now listen, it's a team game, we know that, but where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? They take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again, but on offense they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right, and you just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense at the least Keep the ball for a while. Give those guys a break so they can catch their breath.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end.
They run it again with Williams. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Mahomes now to throw. And it's complete to Kelsey. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him from a 3 and out. Mahomes now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Williams. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. And down to the 28-yard line. That goes for a Chiefs 1st down, 14 yards. But that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
That goes for a Chiefs 1st down, 14 yards. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively, it kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. This defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake it the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Williams, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And Butker able to put this one through. And that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Cousins. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Frank Clark in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Mike's 56. Move.
That's what I do.
Cousins to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here third and long.
56, Mike. Check. Lucky.
One.
Let flow.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56.
Wide.
Cross the pass. Mike's 56.
They'll look to throw. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on fourth. So down 6, and they know they need this one on fourth down.
56 to Mike. 56 to
One.
You ain't got nothing. Mike 50.
Now Cousins on fourth down. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So they go on fourth down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On 2nd and 10. Cousins, now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Flush to his right. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked by Kendall Fuller. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
So this one in the win column for Kansas City, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Chiefs, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
How fit to be the boss? Let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. And I gotta win no matter what, like fourth down, Hail Mary, no punch. Like every time I touch down, I gotta stunt. Randy Moss, yeah, my numbers going up. All these trophies, what do I need any more for? Check the stats up, you can check the scoreboard. Check the stats, Jay Critch, I'm the QB. Ran it up and then I went and got a new freeze. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl